Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? You know who's with me.
What up, guys? It's Eric.
What up, indeed? Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual, Part 4, The Monsters in the Letter D. As you can see right here, we got a nice picture of dinosaurs, because that's what we're going to be talking about for a moment.
Yeah.
And just letting you guys know at home, if this is your first time jumping in, thank you very much. We have 3 other videos before this. And if this is your first video watching since the Satanic Panic, thank you. Go check out our Demon and Devil videos. See where I'm going with this, people? We have other videos. Check them out. All right, Eric. Hope you took your drink.
All
Because
right.
here we go,
We're
people.
getting going Jurassic with this one. Dinosaurs are reptiles, their name being derived from the Greek terrible lizard, descended from a variety of species called thecodonts. The two orders of dinosaurs are Saurischia and Ornithischians. What the hell is this? Ornithischians. I've never heard that word in my life. All carnivorous dinosaurs fall into the former order. All armored and or horned dinosaurs fall into the latter order. Because of the nature of time in planes where magic works, dinosaurs widely separate in time and are discussed hereunder. Where they can be found intermingled on some alternate world, strange plane, or isolated continent somewhere. Great detail will not be given to any one kind, but all major forms are depicted. It must be borne in mind that all of these reptiles are extremely stupid. Their motivation is primarily hunger. The predator types are both ferocious and voracious. The herbivorous dinosaurs are likewise insatiable eaters, but they tend to either ignore all non-eatable things which do not appear to threaten them or flee in panic from anything which they view as dangerous. I don't know about that assertion of dinosaurs, but
Hey, don't you question the
this
first
is
monster manual.
I think these guys need to see some movies. Anyways, certain plant eaters, however, are aggressive in their defense, and these sorts are dangerous, notably Stegosaurus, Ankylosaur, and Ceratopsians. All right, there's some words for you.
Yep.
Marine dinosaurs might overturn vessels to get at the food, in quotation marks, aboard, or they might snatch unsuspecting creatures from the decks of passing ships. Land carnivores will pursue anything that looks or smells edible, only ceasing pursuit when the prey has obviously moved completely out of their grasp. Herbivores, herbivorous dinosaurs, Jesus, this is some weird. Herbivorous dinosaur herds might stampede in virtually any direction as long as it is away from one of the big meat eaters. Any creature directly in the path of such a stampede will be carried along with it or killed. The latter if smaller, slower, and weaker. Man, I forgot how faded this ink is in this old ass book.
Yep.
Makes it difficult to read. Okay, so that's basically a very antiquated opinion of dinosaurs. I will not question the first monster manual any further.
Mm.
And without further ado, we have a plethora of dinosaur entries, starting with the Trachodon. I'm going to use the easier version. Trachodons are duck-billed. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's a side story. These are duck-billed dinosaurs of the plant-eating sort. They run from attack. Their only defense is by lashing tails. Now, these are Trachodons. So Dallas and I went out to Salt Lake this last week, and on the way back, we stopped at this place called the Parowan Gap.
Yeah.
Now, inside the Parowan Gap, they have a bunch of fossilized dinosaur footprints, and the footprints are of a Trachodon dinosaur. So I got to actually see these this last week, and they are
Nice.
big.
All right.
They are huge. Their toes are like the size of my forearm.
Dang. All right. Before you move on
Crazy.
to the description of the next dinosaur,
Yes.
this is where I put the little fun facts. First and
Oh,
last time you will see this many in the Monster Manual. Dinosaurs. All
yeah.
right. Next
It
description,
gets
next
cut down by at
page.
least half. All right, the Ankylosaurus. This armadillo ornithischian weighs 4 or 5 tons. Most of this weight being armor plating, side spines, and a great knobbed tail. If attacked or threatened, this creature will lash its tail, delivering blows of considerable force. They are herbivores and of the same family as Paleosyncus. The Allosaurus. That's a big meat eater. One of
Yep.
the most vicious of predators, this monster can run across hard ground at great speed. Run. Brontosaurus. The thunder lizard is a 40-ton plant eater found near marshes and lakes. The creature spends much of his time in shallow water to support his bulk, like hippos. It moves to deep water to avoid carnivores. Apatosaurus ignores small things, but is prone to step on anything in its way, doing 4 to 40 points of damage for the step.
Yep.
Next, the Archelon Ischiris. Archelon Ischiris. These are reptiles, but not dinosaurs. Poser. These marine turtles seldom venture onto dry land. Archelon's shell is not solid, but it is nevertheless very strong. So you got big soft-shelled turtle.
Yep.
Brachiosaurus, the heaviest of all dinosaurs. These 85-ton monsters dwell in warm swamps and lakes. Similar to apatosaurs, they might step on something small, causing 8 to 80 points of damage. Jesus. These things will, I hope no devils run into these things. They'll just stomp them. Camarasaurus. These marsh or swamp-dwelling herbivores are smallish for their type. They panic more easily than do apatosaurs, for example. Stepping or trampling is 3 to 30 points in damage, so they're not that big.
All right, before we move on to the next page, and you
Yes.
say this creature, the wiki of fantasy dinosaurs before Wikipedia.
Right?
There's nothing here, people. So I gotta make up
Yeah.
stuff to entertain you. All right, next page.
Ceratosaurus. They're hard to pronounce, especially if you're not familiar with a lot of dinosaur words.
Yep.
That's why I sound like I'm a 3-year-old right now.
That's why you're reading it, not me. With my speech impediment and dyslexia.
Right? These smallish semi-bipedal monsters are both heavy and fast. This carnivore is unusual in that it has a horn on its nose, but it does not use it for attacking. Does it? I'm not questioning the monster manual on all things Jurassic, but
Yep.
Stegosaurus. These huge plant eaters dwell in lakes and marshes. Their heads are somewhat larger than similar reptiles. If they step on small things, here we go again. See a pattern, folks? Such as a human, for example, they do 4 to 40 points of damage.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye. Bye-bye. The Nyctis. The Nyctis are not actually dinosaurs, but huge prehistoric fish. Terrible fish. Its huge mouth can swallow man-sized prey on a score of 20. So if you get crit,
you're dead.
You're screwed. All right, you got another one in there?
So, they should create a Dinosaur Island for 5e. Ideas for a
That'd be
campaign.
Isle of Dread, remember that?
Yep. What? That's later. You just ruined another fun
Later.
fact, Eric. Thank you.
Damn
We'll
it.
get to that. So, ideas for a campaign? Lost artifacts. Stick with the script. Rare plants and herbs for potions and lost treasures in the jungle. Okay, keep reading so we can go on to the next
All right.
page.
Diplodocus. I always like this dinosaur just because I like saying that name. Diplodocus.
Yeah.
Diplodocus.
I'll get-
This dinosaur is another semi-aquatic type which eats water plants. It is able to submerge its body to a bottom depth of 30 feet or so and still breathe easily. So this thing has a 30-foot long neck, easily. If
Damn.
it steps on any small creature, yeah, we get the hint. Elasmosaurus. That sounds like a superhero. He's long neck.
He's related to Plastic Man.
Dinosaur with a super stretchy neck. These long-necked reptiles are rather fish-like in appearance. They are carnivorous and highly aggressive. Period. Gorgosaurus. These horrid creatures are probably ancestors of Tyrannosaurus rex. The Gorgosaurus is a fleet carnivorous dinosaur of very aggressive instinct. Oh, these drawings crack me up, man.
Yep.
Iguanodon. These typically bipedal plant eaters typically travel in herds. They run from carnivores, but if cornered, they will employ their thumb spikes and lashing tail to defend themselves. I call them the Fonzie dinosaurs. All right, Lambeosaurus. One of the family of crested herbivorous dinosaurs, this creature is able to see, hear, and smell exceptionally well. They are thus able to detect enemies frequently and flee to safety. either outdistancing their predator or hiding in a swampy area. Other crested dinosaurs include, here we go, Corythosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Rosaurolophus, and Saurolophus. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you said, I agree with. That's what I read when I
I
hear
don't
that.
even know what I said, but I agree with it. All this damn Latin. I didn't take it in school. I certainly didn't want to take it now. Megalosaurus. That sounds imposing. Megalosaurus often travel on all fours, although they are able to function bipedally. They have very large jaws and teeth, using them to bring down any unsuspecting victim. I don't know if this giant ass dinosaur is going to be unsuspecting when it gets close enough to eat you. But
Yeah,
that's what
it's
they say.
25 feet long.
Yeah, you rolled a 1 on your perception, dude.
You rolled a 1 and you were asleep.
Right? Monoclonius. That sounds like a kissing disease.
Yes, it
These
does.
reptiles somewhat resemble a single horned rhinoceros. Their head and neck is protected by a bone shield, armor class 3. That's pretty good.
Oh,
While
wait.
their skin, what?
Oh, go ahead. I'll tell you the
Okay.
story after you finish the description. My bad.
All right. Their skins are very thick, almost plated. They are herbivorous, but they tend to be somewhat aggressive. They will trample smaller creatures in a charge, inflicting 2 to 16 hit points of damage.
Yeah, so I don't know what just triggered this memory, but because you said mono. So I had a friend who used to play D&D with us. His name was Steve Miller, and he had mono.
You just
And my
fucking threw him
friends,
under
we
the
made
bus,
fun of him. We're
dude.
like, "How did you get the kissing disease when you've never even kissed a girl?" I don't know why I wanted to share that. I just thought that was funny.
He probably drank out of a dirty cup. Ew, cochino.
All right, next
All right.
creature.
Mosasaurus. These typical marine dinosaurs travel on land only very slowly, but their flippers move them with ease and grace in the water. They prey on all forms of marine animals. Paleosyncus. These reptiles are veritable walking dreadnoughts. For their heavy-plated skin, sharp side spines, and spiked tail make them nearly invulnerable to attack. A predator trying to bite one is likely to inflict 3 to 12 hit points of damage upon itself if it scores a hit.
Dang.
Of course, the Paleosyncus will be lashing its thorny tail to drive off its attacker. These creatures are somewhat aggressive if intruded upon.
Yeah. All right. So, fun facts I could think of. So, the first one's actually just a fact. 6 pages of dinosaurs, 4 complete pages of their own, people. I mean, that's pretty good for the monster manual.
Pretty good.
So,
Yeah,
new class ideas. Ranger Beast Tamer of mini dinos. You know, like raptors, small little
Ooh.
things. Barbarian Rage forms. You know, you can pick some
Mm.
dinosaurs and give them you like special like strengths or endurance or maybe
Yeah.
leaping. I wouldn't give you like flight power. I'd be like, no, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Druid 9th level, shape changing to dinosaur access. You know, so at 9th level,
I mean, they are beasts, small, you know. Yeah,
you
I
can
can-
talk to
I
the
can see
DM.
that.
Start making this class. All right, moving
Right?
on.
Homebrews. All right, Pentaceratops. This is another of the quadrupedal dinosaurs of the Ornithian order. It is a relative of Mono dinosaur, Styrosaurus, and Triceratops. It is an aggressive but plant-eating creature. Its shield and horns gives its head an armor class 2, while its body is armor class 6. If it charges, it will trample you for 2 to 20 points of damage. Plateosaurus. These dinosaurs travel slowly in a bipedal manner, using their tails as a balance in order to watch for enemies as well as reach the leafy crowns of ferns, palms, etc. They can move fairly fast on all fours. These plant eaters are fairly heavy, about 8 to 10 tons on the average, and panicky. Plesiosaurus. The plesiosaurs strongly resemble a snake wearing a turtle's body, sans shell. They tend to be very aggressive and attack anything. The creature's neck is about 1/3 of its total length, and it is strong and fast. In a marine battle, it can strike with its powerful 4 flippers for 2 to 12 points of damage with each. Pteranodon. Although these flying reptiles typically dive for marine prey, they will attack any creature which appears to be vulnerable. They have no teeth, but spear victims with their beaks if they are too large to swallow at a gulp. The beak of a typical pterodon is about 4 feet long. The creature weighs only 40 to 50 pounds. They can carry off prey 4 times their own weight. I
That's
wonder
a
how they do
person,
that.
dude.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy. We need some Monty Python math for that.
Yep.
Stegosaurus, here we go. This is one of the longer descriptions. I love me a Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
Another of the ornithischians, the Stegosaurus or plated lizard, is a very large, very stupid herbivorous dinosaur. Why do they call him stupid, man? So he had a little pea-sized brain.
Talking smack. Of all the
Really?
dinosaurs, they call this one stupid.
Really? That's what you get when you worship devils. It thrives nearly anywhere and is often found in Jurassic-like plains or jungles. Its great plates allow the creature to defend 90% of the time at armor class 2. Its spike tail, with 4 or more bony spikes of 1 to over bony spikes of 1 to over 2 feet in length, has its own brain. And the Stegosaurus turns its rear continually towards the enemy while tucking its head low. If anything near it seems threatening, it will react in this manner. Interesting. So
There you go.
Wait, that doesn't make it's saying the tail has its own brain.
Yeah,
I've never in my
I don't
life
know why
heard about
they
that.
even included that. I mean,
That's great. I did a report when I was in school on the Stegosaurus. I never saw this.
that was somebody who got the latest version of the encyclopedia
Right?
and went to town on
Encyclopedia
knowledge.
Britannica. Yeah, this guy. All right, Styracosaurus. An aggressive plant eater, Styracosaurus tends to charge at anything that appears threatening. Bony plates give the head area an armor class of 2, and there's a 50% chance that anything attempting to bite its rear portions will be stabbed by one or more of the sharp frills of the head plate, each frill inflicting d6 hit points of damage, 1 to 3 frills possibly striking. If it charges, it will trample smaller creatures for 2 to 16 hit points of damage. All right, Tyrannosaurus.
This is our little. Wait a minute before we jump into the next page.
What happened?
With 50 animals and races used for filler in a book of monsters, I should have put the S.
Right.
Why no pictures and no cool background? Even as a kid, when I opened up this page, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you got like maybe 10 pictures for 50 dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a joke. It should have been one of each
How do you not
page.
have a picture for Triceratops?
I don't know. I don't know. That was crazy.
That's nuts. All right, and
here we go. Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Displacer Beast, and Djinn. Oh my. All right, take us away.
Oh my. Tyrannosaurus is a fierce carnivore found mainly on Triassic plains. The Tyrannosaurus runs nimbly after any creature which appears to be eatable. I think they mean edible.
Yeah.
They will hunt only on dry land, plains, or forest. And Triceratops, the largest of the Ceratopsians, and by far the most aggressive, this beaked herbivore is a plains dweller. It has a huge front plate of bone from which project 2 great horns over 3+ feet in length, while a somewhat shorter horn juts from its nose. Its body is not armored, thus armor class 6. Any creature which infringes on its territory, these reptiles are likely to charge and spear. Smaller creatures will simply be trampled for 2 to 24 hit points of damage. And the terrible lizard, Tyrannosaurus Rex. There can be no
I had to.
There can be no question that this reptile is the most fearsome and terrible of all carnivorous dinosaurs. Despite its huge size, the monster is swift of foot. Its huge head is nearly 6 feet long, and its teeth are from 3 to 6 inches in length. It is a plains dweller, and so stupidly fierce that it will attack a small Triceratops, kill it, and swallow its head in one gulp. I call bullshit on that. I had to. Thus killing itself in a matter of hours as the horns of the victim pierce the stomach of the victor. What is going on here? They open the doors for anybody in this one. Of
Pretty
course, this
much.
monster will pursue and eat nearly anything, engulfing man-sized creatures whole on a roll of 18 or better. Well, that's the dinosaurs.
Yep.
Crazy, some crazy assumptions in this book. So, real quick, since we're done with dinosaurs, I don't know. Like I read a lot of different articles on dinosaurs and stuff like that, and I found one that they're saying, okay, you know how the Tyrannosaurus Rex has little T-Rex arms, little baby arms.
Yeah.
So what's a lot of scientists are saying now that those aren't actually arms. When the first Tyrannosaurus Rex fossils were found, arms are supposed to be flipped around, that they were more like wings, like they're backwards.
Yeah, that's what
Because,
I
because
remember. I remember
they're
hearing
finding
something about that too.
yeah, they're finding more and more T-Rex fossils with skin and stuff attached, and also what appears to be feathers. So it's generally agreed
I
upon
don't know
that
what's
T-Rex
worse: small chicken hands, claws, or small chicken wings on this
or a giant
ridiculously
fucking
large
feathered
creature.
bird, dude. That's insane. Can you imagine a fully feathered T-Rex?
It
And
wouldn't be. It
like I
only
said,
still have
a lot of
these little
scientists,
arm. It still have these little wings. It look
yeah, like little ostrich wings. You said they didn't have massive feathers, dude. Every
baby.
time I look at birds now, I look at birds different, man. Little dinosaur bastards. All right, so that does it for the dinosaurs.
Okay, next up,
We're moving
Displacer
on to the
Beast.
more fantastical of the monster manual with the Displacer Beast, who has a very prominent cameo. If you guys have not seen the new trailer, I won't ruin it for you. But yeah, he has a pretty cool cameo in the new trailer for the movie. Displacer Beasts. A pack of these monsters always contain only full-grown beasts, no babies. The molecular vibrations of the Displacer Beast are such that it always appears to be 3 feet left, right, ahead, or behind its actual position. Thus, these monsters always cause opponents to subtract 2 from attack die rolls and add 2 to their dice for saving throws. These fierce creatures hate all life, but they particularly hate blink dogs. Really? In combat, the Displacer Beast lashes out with its 2 tentacles, inflicting horrible wounds with the rough, horny edges of these appendages. Description: this vague puma-like creature is bluish black. Its tentacles are dead black. The horny edges of the tentacles are brownish yellow, and its eyes glow a hellish green. So yeah, that's the Displacer Beast, a whippy puma, a puma with octopus tentacles that have spikes on them. Very original.
It
At least
is.
I
I
don't
do like that
recall this
creature.
beast. Yeah, I don't recall this beast being anywhere else. But anyways, moving on, we
Yep.
come to the Djinn or the Genie, a very rare creature. We have the Djinn are creatures from the aerial plane. Their magical properties enable them to do any of the following once per day: create nutritious food, not just sugary crap that you feed your kids. Create water or wine. Hey, now that's for the adults. Create soft goods or wooden items. What is this guy? A merchant? With permeance. Wow, so they don't disappear.
Well, make you a
Create
stool.
metal
You
items.
got a stool for life.
Yeah, there you go. Create metal items of short lifespan. The harder the metal, the shorter the time lasts. Gold has about a 24-hour existence. Gin steel lasts only about an hour. Well, that's messed up, dude. Don't be wishing for shit from this guy.
Yep.
All right. Create illusion with both visual and audio components, which will last without concentration until magically dispelled or touched. Become invisible, assume gaseous form, wind walk, or form a whirlwind. A genie whirlwind is cone shaped, 1 by 3 at the base, 3 across the top, and 7 high, according to the desire of the Djinn. It requires 1 full turn to form the whirlwind and 1 full turn for it to dissolve. The whirlwind lasts 1 melee round and causes from 2 to 12 hit points of damage to any non-aerial creature it encounters, and sweeps away and kills all creatures of under 2 hit dice with just encounters.
Yep.
What is that? Like, no damage, no rolls,
Nope.
no
Boom.
saves. Just, oh, you're first or second level? Bye, bitch.
Bye. Yep.
Yeah. Djinn subjected to attacks from creatures based on the element of air take -1 on damage caused thusly, and to hit die are also at -1 penalty. Djinn are able to carry up to 6,000 gold pieces in weight, afoot or flying without tiring. They can carry double that weight for a short time, 3 turns afoot, but if flying that weight, the Djinni can remain aloft for only 1 turn. Let's see. Thereafter, it must rest for 6 turns. It gets tired. Catch a breathe.
Yep. So,
The capture. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. The
Oh.
capture and enslavement of Djinn is better left to the device of the referee. Look at this. They don't even call it a dungeon master at this point in time. It is referred to as the referee. It is worth noting, however, that a good master will typically encourage a Djinn to additional effort and higher performance, while a demanding and cruel master encourages the opposite. A noble Djinni has a 1% chance, is able to grant 3 wishes to his master, but he will do no other services, and upon granting the 3rd wish, he is freed from servitude. Noble Djinni are as strong as the Ifrit, have 10 hit die, strike for 3 to 24 points of damage, and their whirlwind causes 3 to 18 hit points of damage. Djinn can speak their own language and that of any person or beast with intelligence they meet through a limited form of telepathy which enables them to speak appropriately. Djinn can travel the elemental planes and the astral as well as material planes. The social structure of Djinn society is based on a rule by a caliph served by various nobles and officials, viziers, beys, emirs, sheikhs, sheriffs, and maliks. And that is the Djinn.
Yeah, I forgot that there was the back part on there. So,
Yeah.
Eric jumped the gun, but later a module called X1, the Isle of Dread, which came out like a few years later,
Yeah.
1981, would first use these monsters, and these monsters referring to as dinosaurs. Displacer beasts and blink dogs would later become fey creatures, but that's going to take a while. And more
Yep.
information on genies would not come out until the Dungeon Master's Guide when they start
Yeah.
talking about the planes and stuff. So,
Yep. Yeah. When the planes got expanded, a lot of that stuff got a lot bigger. I really like them.
all right. So, dogs, dolphins, and doppelgangers.
Oh, right. Nuggets.
We only care about the doppelganger. Sorry, dogs and dolphin fans.
Hey, this is minion section right here.
Yeah, go
War
ahead
dogs.
and read the dogs.
There we go. These simple large dogs, which are trained to fight. They are loyal to their masters and ferocious in attack. They are typically protected by light studded leather armor and a spiked collar. Look at that. The number appearing depends on their masters. And packs of wild dogs inhabit most regions, and their ranges will sometimes overlap those of wolves. If well fed, they will simply avoid contact. They can be tamed only if separated from their pack. Those are dogs. You like dogs. Dolphins, flipper. Most dolphins simply roam the ocean in nomadic schools. Others save the world, like in Johnny Mnemonic. A small number, however, have formed underwater communities. What? And if one of these is located, it is 75% probable that there will be from 1 to 4 additional community of dolphins within a 5-mile radius. Communal dolphins will have 2 to 5 swordfish, 1 to 3 narwhals, depending on the climate region, as guards. What is this? This is some Aquaman shit. Dolphins will attack any creature which threatens them, although they will help humans in distress. They particularly hate sharks of all sorts and will attack unless outnumbered by more than 2 to 1. Interesting. You ever run across a wild dolphin?
No, haven't had the pleasure.
Man, it is scary. I ran into one time. I was swimming off of the coast of Maryland out in Assateague Bay, near Ocean City. I'm out there swimming. Short story. I'm out there swimming. I see this fin. I'm from California. I'm from LA. I'm flipping out thinking it's a shark, right? So I'm like, oh my God.
It's a shark.
I see his little dolphin head pop in. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh, cute. It's a dolphin. That dolphin opens his mouth. I don't know if you've ever been up close to a dolphin, but those little spiky teeth.
Yeah.
Shit out of me. I'm a grown ass man. And I'm like, nope. I ain't messing with no dolphin with teeth like that. I swam right in it. Dallas just laughed at me. Dallas and Aram were like, what? I was like, nope, that's a wild dolphin. You don't know what he wants.
Nope.
All right, on to the doppelganger. Yeah, right? The doppelganger, Jacob's favorite monster. These bipedal creatures are of mutable form so that they're able to shape themselves into the likenesses of any humanoid creature from 4 to 8 feet tall, so they cannot become a hobbit. Interesting. Or a gnome. Did not know that. I don't know if that's changed over time. Interesting. Having become the double for a person they attempted to do away with, that victim, and assume its place. If unable to do this, the doppelganger will simply attack, counting on the confusion engendered to make it indistinguishable from the creature it is mimicking. Surprise means this works. Doppelgangers are able to ESP and imitate with 90% accuracy. They are subject to neither sleep nor charm spells. Despite only having 4 hit dice, they make all saving throws as if they were 10th level fighting men. Wow. They save as a 10th level fighter. Note, a doppelganger actually forms itself into the likeness of the clothing and equipment of the imitated creature as well as the physical features thereof. Interesting. I didn't know that, or if I did, I forgot about it. So it actually, the form of the clothing and equipment is all part of the doppelganger. So if he dies, you don't actually get their equipment.
No.
Ah, okay. All
Right,
right.
so these are the fun facts about a doppelganger. A deadly NPC.
And
I
an
played in a
interesting one.
campaign where I secretly killed a character to sleep.
You
At the
bastard.
end, then I told the player he was now an assassin and watched as this player tried to kill the rest of the parties. Good
How old were you when you
times.
came up with this adventure?
Wait. Don't do
You were
this now unless your group won't cry over losing their characters. Yeah,
Man.
yeah, because I believe it was Steve, and I killed him. I let him know after the session was over. I'm like, hey, just letting you know your character's dead now. He's like, what? And they started get, I'm gonna go. This ain't fair. And he's gonna go tell the group. I was like, no, shut up. I was like, look, you've been killed by a doppelganger, and now you get to kill everybody if you want to. You're gonna be able to make a new character, but you know, or they can even resurrect your character. They can find the body. But if you're
Man.
game for this will happen. And he was game, dude. Like he just got
Dude,
this
that's
big
messed up.
smile on his face, and he was like, "All right."
So did you decide? How did you decide what character you were going to kill? Did you roll a
I just
dice, or
no,
did
I
you
just
just say
picked
like,
Steve because I knew
"That's
Steve
Steve"?
would go for it and relish in it, which
Okay.
he did. And he killed the other player characters, or at least attempted to. He almost killed one.
Holy
And then they
crap!
turned on him, and then after the combat was over, they were asking him what the hell was his problem. And he was like, "It's Joaquin's fault. He told me my
It's
character was
not
killed by a
his fault.
doppelganger, and then I got to
Under the
play an
bus.
assassin." And then all their anger turned from him to me. And I was like, "Oh, come
Ah,
on! It was fun. Steve liked it."
right.
And
How old were you when you ran this adventure, by the way?
I must have been about 11.
Oh shit,
No
you're an
older than
evil child,
12.
man.
No
Evil
older than
child.
12, dude. I'm like, we're gonna do a video on DM styles because I am
Oh
like
shit.
iron, pay the iron price. Iron
And
Man
I,
D&D. I have to tailor my games now for the group that, I'm playing now with Eric and everybody,
yeah.
where like I don't, I'm not trying to kill you guys constantly.
Right. We take care of that well enough on our own.
Yeah, but this is what the doppelganger was made for. To
Yeah.
kill off
Yeah, they're
one
great
player,
NPCs, man.
and then you secretly let that player know, and then the other player gets to have fun, which Steve did.
Yeah.
So they found Steve's character, and they raised dead on him, but it was fun, dude. I loved it. All
Right on.
right, so that is the end of. Oh wait,
Oh,
no,
we
not
got a little
yet.
bit
We
more.
got the Dragonon. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I don't remember this creature at all. I've never seen it used, nor have I ever used it, nor has many of my characters killed one. So we have a weird cross between a brass dragon and a giant lion. The Dragonne, that's what I'm going to call it, is
Yep.
both very rare and most solitary. The beast fights with its huge claws and great fangs, but its most dreaded weapon is its horrible roar. This sound causes weakness to all within 12 feet of the monster unless they save against paralyzation. Interesting. Furthermore, any creature within 3 feet or less of the Dragonne will be deafened. Both effects of the Dragonne's roar last from 2 to 12 melee rounds. Holy crap. Those weak from fear from the sound of loss lose 50% of their strength. Jesus! Deafened creatures cannot hear any sound and will strike at -1 on their attack dice due to the disorientation. Dragones are able to fly only short distances with their small baby wings. They speak the language of brass dragons and sphinxes. This is an interesting little creature.
It is. It really is. When I was looking at the description of it.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So here's a creature that has come a long way, but this
Yeah.
was his first appearance. The
Um,
dragon turtle.
I don't. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
This monster is currently non-fifth edition. The only thing I thought was interesting. Well, I thought the creature was interesting, but I was like, well, shouldn't its alignment be like at least neutral good because it's crossed between a brass dragon and a lion?
But it's also a cross between a giant lion, which is a neutral beast.
Yeah, but you got a dragon, a brass dragon, who's good.
Yeah, but they're new. Aren't they neutral good? I think. I mean, I think neutral's a fair.
Oh, they would still have a little good in them. But anyway, that was my little tidbit. You really can't
Yeah,
find much on this,
that's
and
a
they
cool.
haven't
Actually,
continued
the
it.
more I look at it, that'd be kind of cool to bring it back in a homebrew or something
Oh hell yeah!
if you had reason to. And the dragon turtle. Look at this guy.
Dryad, and the last is the dwarf.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of info on some dwarfs. I think we all know about dwarfs. Let's see. Dragon turtle first. These beasts. Perhaps the most feared of water creatures is the dragon turtle. They are found in very large rivers and lakes as well as in the sea. Its thick shell makes it nearly impossible to harm, while its powerful claws and jaws easily rip opponents to shreds. Worse still, they can belch forth a cloud of scalding steam, which covers an area 6 feet long, 4 feet wide, 4 feet high. This steam causes damage equal to the number of hit points a dragon turtle has. Wow. Wow. Reduced by 1/2 if the victim makes a saving throw. Okay, so even half, but still, that's a lot of hit points, man. This is a 12 to 14 hit die creature. That is a lot.
It's a big creature.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's worse than a lot of breath weapons.
Yeah, they
Well,
compete with
standard
dragons on that.
dragon breath weapons. Yeah, we'll get into that later. Dragon turtles vary in size, age, and hit points per die in the same manner as dragons. If a dragon turtle comes up under even a large ship, they are likely to capsize the vessel. 95% chance for a small ship, 50 for a large one. They speak their own language. The description: the shell of a dragon turtle is deep green with silver highlights. Its legs and tails are lighter green with golden highlights. Its neck is green gold with golden highlights, and its head and crest are green gold with any highlights that it wants. All
Yeah,
right,
they're
that's a dragon
big. I
turtle.
mean, because
Yeah,
the
they are
size
massive,
is
dude. Like,
it's 30 feet in what is that, diameter or
diameter. So
Yeah,
that
so
shell alone is 30 feet.
yeah, so you just you pick your midpoint, then go 30 feet in a round circle. That's to show
Yeah,
how big these
that's
things
nuts.
are.
And I believe as it evolved, they got even larger.
Yep. All right, so here we go. Dryads.
The Dryad. Look at this. Look at this sneaky git. Hide behind the tree, like, oh, sucker. And that tree has a ladder. I don't think she needs a ladder to get up
Yeah,
there.
I don't know. I guess it's part of the
And there's a
artwork with some
bunny.
other creature in there or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a little bunny. Look at that. I never noticed that. He's kind of hidden in there. Anyways, these beautiful and alluring tree sprites are found only in the most secluded of places. They are found only near oak trees and never more than 36 feet from their individual tree of which they are actually a part. A dryad is shy and nonviolent. Unless surprised, a dryad can disappear by stepping into a tree, slipping out on a side unseen by the intruder, and dimension door to her own tree. Dryad trees are distinguished only by their large size. They do not radiate any magic. Nice try, detect magic people.
Yep.
If seriously threatened, or if near a male with a 16 or greater charisma, the Dryad will use her powerful Charm Person spell, which may be cast up 3 times per day, once per melee round, with a -3 on the victim's saving throw. This wily woman. If a person is taken away by a Dryad, there's a 50% chance they will never return, and if they do return, it will be from 1 to 4 years later. Interesting. Dryads can speak their own tongue, Elven, Pixish, Sprite, and also speak with plants. Carefully approached, they might be persuaded to aid a person or party. Dryads have exact knowledge of the wood or forest in which they dwell. You ever use dryads in your campaigns?
Oh, all the time, dude. I love dryads.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gary Gygax told a story in a Dragon magazine. I think it
Hmm.
was him talking about the best paladin he ever played. Not, I mean, who is best paladin player who when they were asking him like, well, who's the best person you see play as a paladin? I forget who he said the name, but he goes, so a dryad tried to charm the paladin. The
Hmm.
paladin, in response, punches her in the nose.
Whoa!
So Gary Gaga was like you, whoa, like, dude, that is not cool. But upon reflecting on that, he thought it was an appropriate response. Now, maybe he should have said punch, but at least slap her. Why? Because the druid was trying to charm him, and his character would basically be gone.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, for 1 to
he's
4 years.
like, this is a mid-level character who has a powerful magical sword and other weapons.
Hmm.
He could have attacked her. He could have did all kinds of other things, but instead he punched her in the face. Now,
Is that before or after he made a save?
like he made a save.
Okay.
He realized what she did and he punched her
That
in the
was
face.
the role playing of it?
Yeah, so the role playing aspect of it now would be like, well, I push her aside or I push her down or whatever. I don't know about the
Guy
whole,
went full
what
Sean
he
Connery on it.
and this thing goes back to like the thinking of back then, like, well,
Yeah,
I guess it's somewhat okay because she did try to charm him, this harlot.
right?
And I was like, I don't know if
Like
it's
I said,
cool to punch a woman in the face
he went full
unless she's
Sean Connery
trying
on
to
her.
kill you with like a knife or has a gun
Yeah,
in your face. All right, then you get punched in the face because you shouldn't be trying to stab or shoot people, regardless of who you are, that type of thing.
right,
But I just thought that was interesting. Then he goes, yeah, it's the best paladin I've ever seen. I was like,
oh,
punching a
jeez,
woman in the face?
right?
Eh,
There goes chivalry.
There goes chivalry indeed. All right, here we go. Last description. This is it. This is
Uh,
really it, people. This is the
Dwarf says
last.
this is quite a big description.
I was going to tell you to read just the first paragraph,
Yeah, I'm
skip
gonna
for
kind of
every
paraphrase
40,
this.
skip the whole
Yeah,
dwarf weaponry, and then
yeah,
pick up
do
on
all
the
that,
high
and I'll go
level.
down to the resistances and stuff because it's kind of cool to see where the current dwarf came from. This is the first, I mean, they were in first edition D&D, but AD&D, this is kind of
They
what
were
drew the
introduced in the box set, but it was very vague.
correct.
What?
Yeah, just like elves. There were dwarves, elves, and halflings.
Yep.
They even called halflings back then?
Pretty sure there still were.
It might have been, yeah.
They weren't called hobbits by the time they hit the Holmes edition starter set.
Yeah.
That much.
Yeah, that was Tolkien-esque.
Yep.
Anyway, so dwarfs. Rocky hills are the favorite abode of these sturdy creatures. Dwarves typically band together in clans which are mutually exclusive or hostile but are competitive. These creatures are able to operate in 2 or more classes simultaneously. So here we go in the original multi-classing. We'll get more into this when we get into the player's handbook and the DMG, but in the beginning, only semi-humans like dwarves, elves were able to multi-class.
Yep.
So these creatures are able to operate in 2 or more classes simultaneously. So fighter clerics, for example, are possible. Note also that the level of proficiency may vary between the 2 or more classes of these creature or classes one of these creatures is capable of performing in. So you could be like 3rd level fighter, 5th level cleric. You didn't have to split them evenly,
Nope.
which is yeah. So that's kind of cool.
All right, drop us down to
And
high
we
level.
have see in here dwarves are 60% likely to have tamed animals serving as guards, wolves or brown bears. That's cool.
Yep.
Due to their great hatred of goblins, orcs, and hobgoblins, all dwarves gain a +1 to their die rolls to hit these opponents. I like that.
Yep.
When dwarves are in melee with ogres, trolls, and giants. Now, I missed this rule. Those monsters must deduct 4 from their die rolls to hit dwarven opponents due to their size and skill of the latter in combating these huge creatures. Gnomes and halflings used to get that too.
Yep.
But I do miss the -1 when large creatures like
Yeah,
that
especially when you
tried to
got
hit them.
critted. It wouldn't have,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have made a difference on that one.
yeah, stupid boulder. All dwarves are resistant to magic and poison. They therefore make saving throws at 4 levels above their actual level. Dwarves can see in the dark and have infravision at 60 feet. Because of their mining skills, they are good at detecting passages with slope upwards, downwards, sliding walls or rooms, new construction, depth, and type of stonework. Dwarves speak their own tongue and those of gnomes, goblins, kobolds, and orcs. That's a very learned little dwarf.
Yep.
It is 75% likely that dwarves will also speak the common language because they are merchants and like to travel and stuff like that. Description: dwarves are typically deep tan to light brown of skin with ruddy cheeks and bright eyes. Sounds like Santa Claus. Almost never blue eyes, though. They never have blue eyes.
Yep.
Their hair is brown, black, or gray. They favor earth tones with small bits of bright color on their clothing. Although only 4 or so feet tall, they weigh no less than 150 pounds. These guys are built like tanks. They live for no less than 350 years. Now that's cool. Mountain dwarves. These creatures are similar to their cousins, the hill dwarves, which I was explaining earlier. The only difference is the size. They're slightly taller at 4.5 feet. Their hit die are a little more because they're mountain dwarves. Coloration, they're typically lighter with brown hair. They employ fewer crossbows and spears. Mountain dwarves with 16 strength can work up to 7th level, 17 strength to 8th level, 18 strength to 9th level. Mountain dwarves have a lifespan of 400 or more years. That's another thing going back old school. The level that you can gain while multi-classing was dependent on the primary stat of that class.
Yep.
Yeah,
Again.
that was a crazy one. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Little bullet, little fun points. Eric covered a couple of them at the end, but so a much needed sea creature at the time. Not many big scary sea monsters in first edition, referring to the dwarf, of course. No, we all know it's the dragon turtle. The Dryad, friend to druids and rangers most of the time. Like most creatures of the forest, the Dryads were protectors of the woods and acted accordingly. And dwarves known for fighters and clerics in early D&D gameplay. And then, we're going to expand on the player's handbook. All right, here we go, people. The wrap up. Next video, part 5, is a 3-part miniseries, people. So Eric and I will be recording all 3 at once because there's really not that many dragons, but we're giving each dragon their due. What is it?
Yes.
The
Chromatic,
Yep.
the metallic, and then the third part of the mini series will be a little short video on the deities Bahamut and Tiamat, or the chromatic and metallic dragons, respectively.
Yep. So when it comes to like the letter D here, I wrote this little bullet point. It's a variety of different places to encounter monsters, which I thought was cool because now they're giving you different locations to help DMs out. And so we're now at the wrap up. So your final thoughts on the letter D?
You know what? We already went through the demons and devils and which were our favorites, so I'll kind of leave those out. I like my favorite dinosaur of all time has always been the Stegosaurus, the plated giant monster. I've always loved the Stegosaurus. It's just like I said, when I was a kid, I loved dinosaurs. That was always my favorite.
I always like the Triceratops and the T-Rex.
Yes,
they're,
Triceratops was a close second to the Stegosaurus.
like I've always liked those two monsters. They've always switched for me.
Right.
This is the foundation of D&D. I hope everybody's enjoying this as much as Eric and I are talking about this because all these videos are in depth. As you can see, they're going to be close to an hour, even though I thought this would be a little bit shorter. There was just a lot of information just written in these books, and Dallas, we've kept our story short.
It's kind of cool, like going back and seeing all this stuff, and just like I said, a lot of like the Dragonne, I forgot about that thing.
So did I.
It's kind of cool going back and like I forgot that demi-humans were the only things that could multi-class back then.
Yeah.
So it is kind of cool seeing all that stuff around.
All right, final thoughts, last words, and Eric, before I do the sign off.
I'm looking forward to doing dragons, man. Dragons are going to be really fun. They've come a long way. They are literally the namesake of this game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to dragons and farewell demons and devils and the satanic panic.
Exactly. Okay, so
shout out to dogs.
So the satanic one is going to be going out Friday morning, and then this one right here will be Saturday. And then there's one more video that Eric and I are going to do that I'm sneaking in because we still have time. It is the Dragon of Stormwreck Isle review. It's going to be a really quick review because there is some controversy that I want to ask Eric about. So
Ooh,
stay tight,
interesting.
people. We've got a jam-packed 3-day weekend of D&D plus my other content with Magic the Gathering and some Fortnite. And so, you know, people, this is the place
Busy
to be
man.
this weekend, man. So
Busy,
with
busy man.
Yep. So with that, I want to thank Eric for contributing. I always enjoy
Of
his
course.
stories.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
will catch you guys next video.
Take it easy, guys.